All right, welcome back to the seriously dreamy edition of Cosmo Times.
Yeah, now that we know what people's dreams are, let's dig deeper and find some interesting people who have turned their dreams into reality.
Oh, I love uplifting stories.
Now let's head to New York to see what they found for their cities.
Hey, Patricia, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to my home.
Thank you.
It's a very small New York City home.
One thing I'm really interested in, where did you find this beautiful piece of art?
This is actually a street font. It's a piece of garbage.
You have to have quite an eye, a creative eye, to be able to see a piece of trash outside New York, realize that it should be on your wall.
So, because this is a 1930s building, it has some architecture details.
You have a fusion here of East meets West. You have very modern kitchen supplies. I'm imagining that table, for instance, here is antique. Is that right?
It is a vintage piece, yeah. Other furnitures, mostly from the 30s, but I think the table is before that era. So at first I was a little concerned about the consistency, but then the size and the color fitting very nicely, and I was very happy about it.
How did you feel the day you wrote, "Let the past pass, let the future begin"?
That was how I feel when I actually dive into the restaurant business.
Why don't you tell me about this couch that you stole from the set of Mad Men?
Yeah, I'm a good friend of
Don Draper?
Mr. Draper. So
You can call me Betty. Wow, Yiming, this has been an absolutely beautiful apartment to see, and I can't wait to see what you've done with the style in your restaurant. Should we go to your restaurant? Yes. We'll make sure fun. Cafe China.
Consider my restaurant as a small container of all my fantasies.
Tell me about day one, what it was like when you first walked in here and you had to open up.
I just have to do it. Like I have to pretend I am someone that know everything about restaurant. I am someone who can do this.
Did you have any doubts, any regrets? Did you think about turning back the clock at all?
It feels both like a nightmare and a dream. So I'm somewhere in between.
Then or now?
Then. Now it's a dream.
It's a dream.
Yes.
Wow. So tell me a little bit more about the feelings of nightmare and how you reassured yourself, because there's so many people in the world with dreams, and I think very few people are able to reassure themselves that it's okay to take a risk, to take a leap.
I think about what I really want.
How did you know, though, that this was the right path? How did you know that opening a restaurant would make you feel fulfilled?
I don't know, but that's the beauty of unknown.
How did you go about finding the people who would follow your dream?
For American people, especially New Yorkers, curious enough to, want to try something authentic. The inspiration to the design is, literature, actually. The name of the restaurant, the Chinese name Qingcheng, is taken from my favorite author, Eileen Chang.
Wow, okay.
Qingcheng, yeah.
But how did you get from, so it's a beautiful name, a beautiful title, a beautiful era, but how did you get from that to strawberry-infused vodka with lime juice and simple syrup?
I named all the cocktails with either names of book or the movies I like.
In the Mood for Love.
I feel inspired.
Right.
There are many interesting things. Very subtle type of beauty within Chinese elements.
was a banker, and so was her husband. But they had a dream. It was sort of to open a restaurant, but mostly it was about design and about food. But Yiming didn't know anything about opening a restaurant. But she did it anyway. And now, she's following her dream.